Hello there, what's up, and welcome to another one of my videos where today I'm going to be talking about Alfa Romeo off the back of their launch at the start of the week. So it'll be interesting to see how Alfa Romeo do this season. Obviously, they finished in 8th position in the Constructors' Championship last season. They were quite a way off 7th place, and more so fighting Haas and Williams in the 9th and 10th positions. I don't think they're actually probably going to drop back particularly, but they're not going to be gaining much either. I think they're probably going to be staying in that 8th position roughly this season. However, they can make probably quite a few gains with on-track performance. So when you look at both of their drivers, obviously they've got Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi there. In Kimi Raikkonen, he's still a very, very quick driver. He's shown that over all the years he's been in Formula One. He's entering his 19th season now in the sport, which, when you look at it, is quite remarkable and an awfully long time. And with that, he's gained an awful lot of experience over the years, which I think Alfa Romeo like to take advantage of, because you might as well make the most of it while you've got it available to you. I think with the experience and how quick he can still be, some of his negatives are the fact that it is his age, really, is the fact that in Formula One you need to be at your peak performance, both mentally and physically, and that could be one of his shortcomings, really, in terms of being able to perform physically every single race weekend when it takes so much out of you. However, he has obviously been able to show so far that he can still do it over like the last couple of years, so you never know. I may see it as a downfall, but he might go out and prove it wrong. Probably will do. It's just you don't know really. And then I think with this will go for both of them. They just need to be a little bit more consistent, I would say. So Raikkonen, he has his very, very strong weekends, but then other weekends he can drop off completely. It didn't happen too much last year, but it is one of those little things which needs to be changed, really, just to be nice and consistent throughout the whole season. And then it goes likewise with Giovinazzi. Yeah, he's a very quick driver as well, but then at the same time he is very accident prone. It was shown last season in Belgium, where he ran wide after a few laps, went into the wall, and then collected George Russell, and it managed to bring out the red flag in the end because of how much debris was everywhere. And then also the season before that as well in Belgium, where it was the last few laps of the race, and he just went wide at Pouhon and binned it into the barriers. And it's like you look at it like that and think that things like that, they can't be happening for a Formula One driver. And last season, obviously, Alfa Romeo have stuck with the two drivers they had for the previous two seasons as well. But there was a risk that one of them or both of them could be replaced by younger Ferrari junior drivers because of their link with Ferrari. So there's talk that Schumacher could go there before he went to Haas. Callum Ilott could have potentially gone there, as well as Robert Schwartzman. And I think to be fair, when you look at it, both of them are quite fortunate and lucky, really. But I think with both of them still being around, there's going to be an awful lot of pressure put onto Raikkonen and Giovinazzi this season that they need to perform with two young drivers waiting in the wings, so to speak. And then I'd say that both of them, when they are on their game, really, they're a very good midfield force, really. Both of them are very, very quick. Raikkonen's got that experience. Giovinazzi's got the speed, so they can get an awful lot out of the car when they're on their game. It just needs to be delivered more regularly and more consistently. And then when you look at the 2021 car for this season, when they did the launch on Monday, you could see that there was quite a few updates on the car, especially obviously the nose. And I think what they're doing is they did come out and say in the launch that they're going to be making a few updates as the season goes on, but they're only going to be minor updates with them focusing on 2022 relatively early. As I've said in quite a few of my other videos, most of the teams are wanting to focus on 2022 very early because it's a big regulation change. There's an awful lot there to be gained if you start your development early. And then obviously likewise, if you start it a bit later, there's an awful lot you can lose as well. So I think that's why Alfa Romeo are wanting to start the development early. But I think the good thing is they have said that they are going to be making developments as the season goes on, although minor. And then, as I said, the big change on the car really, which you can visibly see, is the nose section of the car. So what they've done is they've sort of gone down the Mercedes route really. So the Mercedes introduced the very thin looking nose in the 2017 season. And the likes of McLaren, now it'll be Aston Martin, Renault, and obviously now Alfa Romeo, they've all gone down the same route of having that very thin looking nose. And I think it clearly shows that there is performance to be gained from it. I think it just helps with the airflow of the car and everything like that really. And I think the fact that more teams are now going down that route clearly shows that it is sort of the better way to go really. And then another modification on the car which you could sort of see was the front wing of the car. So there's more so, I'd say, taking Ferrari's front wing from last season and using it on their car for this season. Teams which have got very close connections with the upper teams are sort of allowed to do that, I would say. So if last season's car, so the 2020 car, had bits and pieces from other cars from the 2019 season, then obviously that could go onto the 2020 car, and then it's going to be likewise for this season. So 2020 parts are allowed on the 2021 cars. So that's all about because there's not going to be so many changes with the cars this season with cost caps and everything like that, with the pandemic and everything like that going on at the moment. It's only seen as being fair that the smaller teams get the opportunity, like they had done last season, to still take advantage of the fact that they get to use year-old parts from one of the higher teams. So it will help them slightly with their performance, and then at the same time it means that they're saving money because they're not having to try and develop something themselves. And obviously that will probably be having to happen more so for next year, but obviously they're going to be having this year focusing on 2022. And then another big talking point will be the Ferrari engine. Obviously they're supplying it to Alfa Romeo and to Haas as well. And I'd say last year the Ferrari engine obviously did have a very big deficit. You could clearly see that on the Mercedes, Renault and Honda power units. And I think that it did heavily cost Alfa Romeo last season. And you could clearly see that on tracks which you need a lot of horsepower on. So the likes of Italy, Belgium, Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari customer and the actual Ferrari team struggled massively on them. So it's like in Alfa Romeo's situation, you pretty much knew it's a shoo-in that them and Haas would be knocked out of Q1 just because of their engine deficit. It was so severe, and it clearly showed that they struggled with it. And I think where they were last season, they did pretty well considering that they had a pretty poor power unit in the back of their car. But Ferrari have come out and said that the power unit is an awful lot better for this season. I think they were saying that it should be about 30 brake horsepower improved, which is a pretty big step, I would say, from 1 year to the next. Obviously, they're saying that it could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less. Nobody knows still. But I think with that, Alfa Romeo should also get quite a bit of performance out of the engine as well. And I think with that, the new nose and the front wing, there should be quite a bit of gains in on-track performance. So when you look at the Alfa Romeo situation going into this year, there should be big progress being made in terms of on-track improvements, and obviously they've got two very good drivers with experience now in Formula One who are capable of delivering the results as well. We've seen the front wing, the nose cone, and also you'll have the upgraded power unit as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they can do for this upcoming season. So thank you for watching this video. If you do enjoy it and have enjoyed it and liked it, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.